Were you eagerly waiting for the budget announcement to understand what's actually in it for you? Well, you are at the right place because today we are decoding Budget 2026 and more importantly, what it tells us about where India is headed next. This was Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's 9th consecutive budget presentation, and for the first time, it was delivered from Kartavya Bhavan. And that setting felt symbolic because this budget repeatedly returned to one idea: responsibility. Responsibility towards growth, towards young Indians, and towards building long-term economic strength rather than short-term headlines. What immediately stands out is that Budget 2026 is clearly a youth-first budget, not just in words but in how the money and policies are aligned. The government seems to be acknowledging a big reality that today's young Indians are not all looking for traditional jobs. Many are creators, freelancers, digital entrepreneurs, designers, gamers, and storytellers. And for the first time, that ecosystem gets formal recognition.
India's animation, visual effects, gaming, and comics sector, AVGC sector, is a growing industry. I propose to support the Indian Institute of Creative Technologies, Mumbai, in setting up AVGC Content Creator Labs in 15,000 secondary schools all over the country and 500 colleges.
The announcement of content creators and AVGC labs in thousands of schools and colleges is a big signal. This isn't just about YouTube or Instagram. It's about building skills in animation, visual effects, gaming, comics, storytelling, and digital production. In simple terms, the government is saying the creative economy is not just a side hustle anymore. It's a legitimate growth engine. And that's a massive mindset shift. This youth focus then flows naturally into technology and AI. Budget 2026 places strong emphasis on AI-driven solutions, not just for flashy tech use cases, but for real-world impact.
I propose to launch Bharat Vistar, a multilingual AI tool that shall integrate the AgriStack portals and the ICAR package on agricultural practices with AI systems.
Take agriculture for instance. With tools like Bharat Vistar, farmers will get multilingual AI-based support, advice, insights, and data in their own language. Now moving forward, when you zoom out, you realize this budget is walking a careful line between big ambitions and fiscal discipline. The government has pegged the fiscal deficit at around 4.3% of GDP, signaling that it doesn't want to overspend recklessly even while investing heavily in growth. And yet, despite this discipline, the government hasn't held back on capital expenditure. In fact, CAPEX has gone up again, crossing 12 lakh crore rupees. This is not ordinary spending, it's the backbone of long-term infrastructure development. Building on this vision, a major highlight is the announcement of 7 high-speed rail corridors linking key cities across India from Mumbai to Pune, Hyderabad to Bengaluru, and Delhi to Varanasi. They will serve as the economic growth connectors designed to boost regional development, cut travel time drastically, and enable faster movement of people and goods. At the same time, a new dedicated freight corridor between Gujarat and West Bengal is now planned, another step towards smoother logistics and stronger supply chains. Now moving forward towards another aspect. In her speech, the finance minister laid out a bold push towards industrial sovereignty and less dependence on China or the US. One of the standout initiatives is India Semiconductor Mission 2.0, with the outlay increased to Rs 40,000 crore. Now, this phase aims to build domestic manufacturing of semiconductor equipment, materials, and design IP. Complementing this are plans for rare earth corridors in coastal states like Odisha, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu, crucial for future tech manufacturing. Together, these moves place India on a path to become a global technology and manufacturing hub in strategic domains. Now, let's talk about the question most people ask first: taxes. Now, there's no change in income tax slabs this year. That may disappoint some, but the story doesn't end here. What the budget does instead is focus on simplifying compliance, more time to revise returns, fewer procedural headaches, and reduced TCS on certain overseas payments, and a notable shift in how tax evasion is handled, with financial penalties taking precedence over imprisonment. The tone here is clear: comply easily, correct mistakes without fear, but don't evade. For market participants, there were some notable signals too. Higher STT on certain trades indicate the government wants to curb excessive speculation while keeping long-term investing stable. For investors, the overall investment limit for persons residing outside India, that is PROI, has been lifted from 10% to 24%, a clear signal to international capital that India wants to remain investment friendly. It's pertinent to note that the Budget 2026 also focuses on small and medium enterprises, the backbone of India's economy. Going in this direction, a Rs 10,000 crore SME Growth Fund has been announced to support equity infusion and scaling. Meanwhile, revival of 200 legacy industrial clusters with infrastructure and technology upgrades has also been announced. So these were the key announcements made on 1st of February 2026. In conclusion, this budget doesn't scream populism. Instead, it feels like a course correction budget, one that prepares the ground for the next phase of India's growth story. If you found this breakdown useful, hit like, subscribe for deeper budget analysis and tell us in the comments which announcement matters most to you.